Hi, Sandra Wilson here, clinical hypnotherapist. So do you ever find yourself over-analysing every single conversation you have with people? So for example, whilst you're actually having the conversation with the person, it's fine, you know that maybe you feel a little anxious about what you're going to say or how you're going to respond. You might worry a little bit about coming across as, I don't know, uncaring or lacking in knowledge, or coming across as being too much. Maybe you're just a little bit worried about other people judging you for the things you're going to say, whether it's your opinion or how you talk. But it's fine, you just get on with the conversation. And you know that sometimes when you feel a little more relaxed and calm, that conversations can just flow and you're more willing to just listen to what the other person has to say rather than just jumping in. But then you get home, maybe you go to bed, maybe you find that you can't sleep straight away, and then, bam, that conversation, that seemingly okay conversation, even the seemingly innocuous conversation, creeps into your awareness when you're trying to go to sleep. And before you know it, you are picking it apart. You've thrown yourself into a bit of a panic about whether or not you may have said something that upset the other person, even though there was no evidence of that at all. You might worry that you have come across as someone that doesn't care. You might worry that you've come across as arrogant. You might worry that you sound stupid. You might worry that you have caused huge offence. You might feel huge anxiety about saying something that might have triggered something within somebody else and ruin their day. You might worry that this person is no longer going to like you, or that somehow they're not going to want to be friends with you anymore. Or if it's a work colleague, you might worry that you've damaged your relationship as a result of this conversation. None of this makes sense to you in that moment. There you are trying to go to sleep. You just cannot stop that rumination, that poring over every single thing that you said or you think you've said, the impact it's had on that person and how dreadful you feel, how anxious you feel, and the consequences of that conversation that actually seem to be okay at the time. It's so frustrating, and yet there's nothing that you can do in this moment to stop that hypervigilance, almost like you're a detective going over evidence, trying to find evidence of a crime, and you can't actually find any evidence. It's the not knowing. It's ambiguous and unclear, but your brain does not like that ambiguity or that lack of knowing for certain. So it's filling in the space, and it's not doing it in a very positive way. And this is such a huge part of having rejection sensitivity, rejection sensitive dysphoria, which is a big part of ADHD, as we know. And trust me, you're not alone in this. It's very common. Poring over conversations, wishing desperately that you'd said something different, and just hoping that your relationship with that person hasn't been damaged and they don't hate you. I hope that makes sense, or maybe it doesn't, but I will be making more content about how to cope better if you find yourself second-guessing yourself, ruminating, over-analysing everything you say, opening yourself up to being judged. Bye for now.